I've lived on the internet for a long time. Probably longer than advisable by any doctor, really. But as it comes to content creators on the internet, I didn't really follow a lot of people until pretty recently. It was haphazard consumption of random content. It was Imgur and Reddit and eventually Vine, and then a couple YouTube channels. I was subscribed to very few YouTube channels at the time. Actually, still, I have a fairly short list of YouTube channels I'm subscribed to. Back then, I remember one of them was Vlogbrothers, and watched them a bit, and then that led to me wondering, what are other brothers doing? Which, I don't know what was going on with my mind at the time, but it led me to the McElroys, etc, etc, etc. Little by little, content creators became a strangely significant part of my life. And so I started getting exposed to more people doing and making stuff. But still, too few queer creators. A little less than 6 years ago, though, I found one. I found a queer creator, and I immediately fell in love with her. Her channel is ContraPoints, and the name of this trans woman and channel creator is none other than Natalie Wynn. The self-described ex-philosopher is the subject of this month's Queer Creator of the Month. I recognize that in terms of getting eyes on a creator at my current peanut-sized stature, I'm probably not going to do much to extend her 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube. But this woman is so good at making content that I don't even care. And even if I only send one person her way, it'll be worth making this video. I watched her first video and I was immediately in. One of the easier subscribe smashes I can remember. I can hardly believe there are only 21 videos on her channel, considering the amount of real estate she owns in my head. Her earliest video, decrypting the alt-right, identifying the fascist.
Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about how to recognize a fascist.
Came out in September 2017, and it, and every other video she's made since then, has been fucking hit after hit. Her most recent video, The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling.
I'm gonna talk about Joro once again, but first, story time.
Came out in April of this year, 2023. And it was, to put it lightly, another absolute banger. I watched all 2 hours of that video as soon as I could. She could make her videos 10 hours long, I would watch that shit. There's a pretty decent sized gap between each video that she puts out on the channel, and I'm sure there are many reasons for that, but it is always worth the wait. One of the things innate to every video Natalie makes is aesthetic. Holy shit, the aesthetic. We are talking Wes Anderson of trans women as it comes to a recognizable aesthetic. The fashion game, or more appropriately, costume design, the sets, the characters she's playing, the makeup, everything. She's so well-spoken and so good at playing all the characters she plays in her videos. She is a master, to me, unlike any other, as it comes to debating herself to make a point. This woman knows how to make a video essay, and I don't know anyone doing it like her. To put it another way, I'm making videos here. On all my channels, I'm making videos. She is making films with a capital F. And the content she's making is providing significant value to the universe. I don't always agree with every take she has, of course. She's another human being with a different perspective. And I've definitely seen videos with sometimes valid criticisms. Most of the time, at least among the queer community, I think it's her tweets that sometimes get her into controversy more than the videos themselves, at least according to my perspective. For example, my non-binary ears perked up when there was a sort of Twitter thread she put out about they-them pronouns, and I had complicated feelings about it at the time. I think Luxander, who, spoiler alert, I'll be talking about them some more in future months, had a really good defense of those tweets, and I think it's worth watching, so watch that video. But ContraPoints, Natalie is doing the impossible. She is walking on a tightrope made of twine over a deadly pit of both her peers and foes alike. Her early stuff even, I think, managed to move the unmovable minds of incels and alt-right boys. She's talked about gender, sex, pronouns, politics, that piece of shit Daily Wire guy, Jordan Peterson, content creation, cancel culture. And it's always so nuanced and gorgeous and funny as hell. And she's doing it all on stage with the spotlight on her in a time where violence against trans people is horrifically abundant. I could go on and on forever about how wonderful her channel is and the content she makes is. But honestly, I want to keep this brief. And more importantly, it's time to get to the contra point. Do you like art? Then follow Natalie and ContraPoints. Subscribe to her channels, watch all her videos, and support her if you can through her Patreon. If you're interested in learning more about her, I recommend that you take a look at the interesting and increasingly common Ethan Klein W, which was the interview on the H3 podcast she had. It was really cool. I've watched most of her interviews that I can find, and I think it's the one that feels the most real and provides some pretty interesting insight into what it's like to be a trans creator who is also going through the process of transitioning live for all to see. In terms of specific video recommendations, it is excruciating to pick only one, but I recommend as a baby queer creator to grab the nearest bomb pop and watch Trans Trenders. Baltimore, Maryland, yes, that is their name, is an upsettingly relatable non-binary character. And you know, one day, this beard, it's gonna be a glitter beard, it's just a matter of time. It's overall a creative, weird, and interesting way to talk about the world of trans people. And kinda operates as a crash course in gender for the second half of the video. So, yeah, go watch her videos, go subscribe. But that's it for this month's Queer Creator of the Month. Big shout out to last month's Queer Creator of the Month. That was Transparency, an incredible channel. They are great people. I love what they're doing. Definitely check them out. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have creators that you think I should highlight in this way in future months, the next Queer Creator of the Month perhaps, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe here for more Queer Creators of the Month and other fun queer stuff that I make here. But that's it. And until we dive again, thanks for watching and see you soon.